All right, one last 49ers update here from Santa Clara before heading off to Pittsburgh. And hey, I don't mind taking you to Pittsburgh a little bit early for some of those Primanti Brothers style sandwiches. We'll have a talk about that in just a little bit. I got a little taste test already. But anyway, Nick Bosa signed, sealed, and delivered. Bosa, in fact, this morning said something that I think 49ers fans will like to hear.
I'm locked in, just signed. 6 years, I'm a Niner for life. Let's go win some rings.
It's official. Let's go.
Niner for life. Nick Bosa's current contract with the 49ers runs until he's 31 years old, and he's only 25 right now. Full 6 years, and the first game under this new record-breaking contract is coming on Sunday. Bosa today, in meeting with the media, he was wearing a Chris Kasarik t-shirt as he did so for the first time after signing this deal. Bosa said that he's ready for a full workload if the 49ers decide to give it to him against Pittsburgh. Kyle Shanahan might think otherwise. He might try to ease Bosa back into the mix, but that's that. Nick Bosa stayed in shape at the compound in Florida over the course of the negotiations. Trust was a big word that he used. Trust in Brian Arolt, his agent, trust in the 49ers. So he trusted that he'd be ready to play week one. Worked out as if that was going to be the case. And at the end of the day, the trust paid off in both sides. Bosa is ready to play with a new record contract for week one. And I will say, trust is not just a buzzword here. Brian Arolt, Nick Bosa's representative, has earned trust by securing the bag for his clients. Just the day after Nick Bosa agreed to his deal, Joe Burrow agreed to an NFL record deal, $55 million per year. Burrow and Bosa are friends. They're texting each other throughout the whole process. But Arolt has earned the trust of Bosa and his clients. And listen, the 49ers have earned the trust of Bosa and other players because they have a great track record of finishing big contracts and paying players on time. And the 49ers' track record in that regard just became more impressive. Bosa was out at practice today. He was really, really excited. He was running around, bouncing around the field. He joined Charvarius Ward out there. That's the one big 49ers injury nugget that we have to get to. Charvarius had missed practice on Thursday with a heel issue that had popped up after Wednesday's practice. Kyle Shanahan didn't seem worried about it. He said it's a minor issue. They officially listed Charvarius Ward as questionable, but he certainly seems to be trending toward playing since he was back out at practice today. The only other player on the 49ers injury report is George Kittle with the adductor injury. He was obviously back out at practice in a limited fashion this week, all 3 days of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but Kittle is listed as questionable. So there obviously isn't 100% foolproof certainty that he's going to play against Pittsburgh. But boy, talking to George after practice on Thursday, he was breaking down the Steelers. He's been diving into tape. He's actually watched extra tape on Alex Highsmith, the edge rusher opposite TJ Watt. George is really excited to play. I would be very surprised if he didn't, although he is officially listed as questionable. Everybody else, from Dre Greenlaw to Ray McLeod, they're off the injury report. They're fully ready to go. McLeod's recovery has been borderline miraculous, in my opinion. It's 4 weeks ago that Ray McLeod broke his wrist. At the time, the initial prognosis was that it was going to take Ray McLeod 8 weeks to come back. 4 weeks later, he's going to be back, and he's probably going to be the 49ers returner against the Steelers, his former team. So maybe McLeod was really motivated to get back. I don't know how that's supposed to help your bone heal faster, but he does want to play his former team. He is going to be out there. And I will say, in the grand scheme of things, 49ers right now seem healthier than they've ever been in the Kyle Shanahan era. Sure, you've got Danny Gray on injured reserve for this football team. That's a player that they're going to want back at some point. You obviously have Robert Beal Jr., the edge rusher, the rookie, who's on IR as well. But everybody else locked, loaded, ready to go, assuming that Kittle, who's questionable, is back out there this weekend. And obviously Charvarius Ward, who is questionable, is also back out there. They were both out of practice, though, today, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyway, on to Pittsburgh, right? Direct flight out to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's famous, and you're going to see a lot of this probably from people covering the 49ers, but you know me, I started the whole food thing. I might as well be first on the Pittsburgh scene with it. That's the glory about living in San Francisco. You can get one of these puppies, one of these bad boys. Primanti Brothers in Pittsburgh started this kind of sandwich because Pittsburgh, it's the steel city. It's one of the great American cities here, especially of the past, back when the steel industry was exploding. The truckers and all the industrial workers, you know, the people who had to drive vehicles during the boom of the steel revolution in Pittsburgh, they needed to be able to drive with one hand and hold their food in a self-contained fashion in the other. So Primanti Brothers came out with a sandwich that had the protein. This one has copa on it. Don't you love copa? A little bit like prosciutto, Italian meat. It had the fries, the coleslaw, the cheese, everything stuffed into the sandwich, not on the side, so you could hold it with one hand. The bar in San Francisco that serves Pittsburgh-style sandwiches is called Rudy's. They used to be called Giordano Brothers. It's at 16th and Valencia, but you can get this gluttonous sandwich there. I think it's just as good as what you can get in Pittsburgh at Primanti Brothers, but maybe we do a taste test this weekend between the two. It is the Steelers bar, so this was on theme. I had to swing by, get some good Pittsburgh meals. I didn't drink because I'm still on my 75 days right now, but they serve the Iron City beer. I'm going to go to this very spot that you see pictured here up on the wall in Pittsburgh once I land there. It's a glorious city. I mean, you could tell it was once one of the epicenters of the world when that steel industry was there. The architecture in Pittsburgh is awesome. So it's going to be fun to cover a 49ers game there and obviously eat some of the gluttonous food that they do have in Western Pennsylvania. On Thursday night, the Pittsburgh Steelers bar was the Detroit Lions bar. The Lions fans are trying to find a good spot to meet up in San Francisco, and they beat the Chiefs, so they were bringing the house down at Rudy's on 16th and Valencia. So the 49ers locked, loaded, ready to go. They're flying right now cross country from the Bay Area to Pittsburgh. The season opener is coming up for the 49ers against the Steelers. A lot of parallels in this football game. I mean, a ton. On one side, you've got TJ Watt. On the other side, you have another edge rusher who has an older brother, star edge rusher in NFL circles, and that's Nick Bosa. TJ Watt, obviously. JJ Watt is his older brother. JJ just retired, but Nick Bosa on the 49er side, he's got Joey. Those are the top two paid edge rushers in the game now, by the way. Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa, the reigning two defensive players of the year. They're both going to be trying to sack a second-year quarterback. That's Brock Purdy for the 49ers. TJ is going to be going after him. And then on the other side, Kenny Pickett for the Steelers. Nick Bosa is going to be going after him. Both of these teams are bully ball type of teams, and that's a dying breed in the NFL. Bully ball type of teams, excellent defensive lines who spearheaded the way toward 20 interceptions last season. The Steelers had 20 picks. The 49ers had 20 picks last year. That was tied for number one in the NFL. So you could see the parallels. Second-year QB, the two edge rushers, Bosa and Watt, both of those guys might have kicked down the door to finish their contract negotiations. That was the Schefter report, at least figuratively. I'm not saying they actually kicked down the door, but both guys love football, both going after second-year quarterbacks. Pickett and Purdy are going to be big in this game. Check out the preview. I wrote about all these parallels on The Athletic, went deep into this. It's $1 a month right now, so it's a good chance for you to subscribe and check it all out right now. Be well-versed on your 49ers news before this deal runs out. Be ready here for week one of the regular season. We'll talk to you all from Pittsburgh, maybe even a little bit before then. So subscribe and see you soon.